Last session started with Vane having plunged his dagger into Granny Gretfern, to which this sweet old lady smiled, and her body began to bloat and contort into the horrifying visage and size of her true form, throwing her sweeping broom some 100 feet over to the side. You entered combat, and immediately Granny picked up Vane into a crushing hug, almost rendering him unconscious. Cato ran into the fray and used his telekinetic powers to yank Vane out of Granny's grasp and over to beside Rook. Using his action surge, Cato also placed the fate cradle upon himself, wrapping it around his neck, and took a hold of his own fate for the next few moments. The rest of you, excluding Vane, jumped in to do some direct battle with Granny Gretfern. Unfortunately, fate did not appear to be on your side, as you swung repeatedly and missed with your great axe and lightning. Vane attempted to persuade Granny to let you go, but the offense had already been delivered. Once Roshana's great axe and spiritual dragonfly hit together, Granny Gretfern called a cloud of toxicity upon you, dealing poison damage, clouding your vision, and rendering Vane unconscious again. Cato threw another flurry of scimitars her way, as Roshana pulled an unconscious, then conscious, then unconscious again, Vane out of the cloud. Rook called out to Granny Gretfern that she had made her point and that you were ready to leave, to which Granny dissipated the cloud of poison, and instead threw a lightning bolt towards Vane and Roshana, rendering both unconscious to ensure your stay. Cato used the scroll of Conjure Minor Elemental to bring a water weir to the field between Granny and his two fallen compatriots. Rook then pulled out the Sanctum Stone gifted to you by the guild and threw it on the ground by Roshana and Vane, smashing it and conjuring up a circle of teleportation. Granny Gretfern, however, did not like this and simply dispelled the circle, leaving you stranded in her domain. Cato ran over and restored Roshana, who quickly retrieved Vane from unconsciousness, just as he was about to slip into oblivion. Rook threatened Granny Gretfern's garden behind her hut with a lightning strike, to which he simply shrugged and lunged for your compatriots with an unearthly eruption of earth. Cato tried to will the fate cradle to his bidding, but his essence could not reach it, and both Vane and Roshana were rendered unconscious once more. Using the helmsman's rudder, Cato grabbed Roshana and spurted 30 feet out back into the forest, hoping to get as far away as possible. Rook ran towards the bleeding out Vane to heal him once more, as thumping footfalls could be heard encroaching. Cato looked out to see 3 human-faced hounds with glowing red eyes circling around you. Granny Gretfern stepped into position to send a lightning bolt across Vane, Roshana, and Cato, the former 2 either knocked unconscious or in its throes already. Cato threw his arm up in surrender to Granny Gretfern's terms, and although he had a batshit plan in mind, Rook used the opportunity to pull Vane back from the brink once more. Gretfern's hounds shrieked balefully, causing the already frightened party to become more frightened, as the 2 other hounds ran at Cato and tore into him. With all of Rook's friends now on the ground, Granny stepped forward and stated that she accepted your surrender, but that she wanted assurance. With both sets of claws and an iron-filled jaw, she sliced into Vane, leaving him dead on the ground, crimson hair streaked with crimson blood. You watched on in shock as Granny shucked her arm into Vane's torso before lifting him into the air. Granny stated that she had been cordial, she'd even been civil, and she'd minded her own business, but then you came onto her property. Now, if you wanted Vane back, unspoiled as Rook urged, you would retrieve for her the oaken heart of Fainfirth. Rook agreed to the deal, and Granny called up her hounds. Granny pointed in the direction up north, back towards the village, and said that her hounds would accompany you. Should there be any funny business, however, she promised that the hounds would attack the village, and your precious friend Vane would be no more. And with that, Granny Gretfern dragged Vane's corpse into the hut. Rook was left to stabilize Cato and Roshana and wait for their return to consciousness before explaining everything that had transpired. It felt as though Granny had been toying with you all along, but now it did not matter. You would need to reach the end of the path ahead of you in order to see Vane again. With the hounds in tow, you headed on down that path. It was a somber and quiet journey back to Fainfirth. You spent a number of days without Vane, the eerie silence following you like a bad smell as the hounds stayed close on your tail, shunning away any wildlife nearby. Not wanting to alert their master, you communicated briefly and used Cato's telepathic abilities. On the 3rd night of your awkward trek, you arrived on the outskirts of Fainfirth. Not wanting to conjure any unwanted attention, Rook wall-shaped into a badger and snuck forward in the depths of night to dig away beneath the roots of the large tree in the centre of the village. Partway through your dig, Blink Boy appeared behind you, curious as to what you were doing. Rook continued on digging, eventually finding a large, pale green gem that glowed and pulsed with energy, numerous roots and branches coming off it like arteries and veins, an anatomical heart, if you will. Rook pulled the heart from the earth, looked at Blinkboy sadly, before turning back towards the group. Blinkboy sniffed around the tree for a bit, before returning back to the tavern. You journeyed out another hour or two again, before stopping, feeling guilty about taking this energy-filled crystal from the town, even if they didn't know they had it. You slipped the crystal into the bag of holding and took your rest. The second verse, the same as the first, you returned to the clearing of the hag's hut after another couple of days of awkward and stifled travel. On arriving back at the clearing, you saw the looming figure of Granny Gratfern and a giant cauldron set up before the stone hut. After a terse bit of back and forth, you handed the heart over to Granny, who took it and placed it inside the hut, before returning with a makeshift mortar and pestle made of a large skull and a long bone. Granny tipped ground silvery powder into the red mixture of the cauldron, and the liquid began to glow bright. Vane, who had just drifted into darkness and silence, was ripped to consciousness by an ice-cold wind. Looking around, he saw nothing but dark sky and dreary mountains. Within himself, he felt an unimaginable sensation of being out of place, of being wrong. A shift of movement caught his attention, as you spotted a tan-skinned elven man, paling due to the lack of sun, and wearing a tattered and dirty tunic, walking nearby. Vane approached, and this figure cowered away in fear, though his eyes carried a vacancy. You asked him where you were, and he responded that you were in hell, eyes darting as though expecting something from above to strike down on top of you. This depiction of hell did not sit well with you, Vane, given your understanding of your lineage, and you said as such, but the elven gentleman started to run away. A torrent of air tore through you, as above, a large shadowy creature flew overhead, a pinpoint red eye looking directly at you from above. As you chased after the elven figure, you felt the earth crack and fall beneath you, and you landed in a pit below. With the bird-like creature circling above, you notice a door of stone begin to grow out of the earth, and from it, a large, blistered grey hand crawled around the edge. The door began to open slowly, and despite Vane's trepidation at dealing with the hand that killed him, he could hear the voices of his friends and loved ones beyond, and he clasped the iron-nailed hand, and Vane was yanked through. From Granny Gratfern's cauldron, a spew of red liquid, arms and legs erupted from within. Vane appeared from within the liquid, covered in it and hacking it up also. Vane, petrified of the hag, tore away from her as he questioned what the rest of you did to bring him back. Though it wasn't part of the deal, Granny Gratfern did relinquish the millstone to you, and you all quickly hopped into the cart as Granny sipped from the red stew left in the pot. With your transaction complete, you quickly gathered Vane's belongings and hopped into the cart. Rook took the helm as you drove quickly south, down the path you had come days ago. As you were leaving, Vane's eyes stayed on Granny Gratfern, who waved to him until they were out of sight of each other. After an hour's travel, you reached the luscious forest proper once more. After a few more hours, the colours became brighter, and you found the fake clearing. You passed the millstone over to Larry, who swooped over to Kilmooly with it. The two exchanged, not words, and Larry expressed that while the Iron Tooth has not been slain, Kilmooly is very happy to have his millstone back. Kilmooly offered that you stay in the clearing to rest and enjoy a feast on the morrow. You all set up the tents, with Rashanak sleeping across from Vane to keep an eye on him until sleep took you. And that is where we will pick up.
Okay. So, the company has come to the end of a terrifying ordeal. You battled the Iron Tooth, Granny Gratfern, attempted to compromise, but you still lost Vane, as a form of leverage or assurance to the bitterly cruel hag. You then retrieved the Oaken Heart of Fenfirth, and with it, bartered with Granny Gratfern for the resurrection of Vane. And you have just returned to the comparatively colourful and magical Fey clearing, returning the millstone to the Fey Kilmooly. And you decided to bed down for the night with a promise of a meal in the morning. Is there anything that you guys would like to do?
Vane is still sort of lent against the I don't know what the exact word for it would be, the like cart wheels, like the side of the cart, just staring back at the way we came.
Mhm.
He's very much in like a state of what the fuck's going on.
Oh,
Apart from that, no.
just chilling.
Yeah, standard stuff.
How about the rest of you?
I probably fell asleep across from Vane because I was watching him. Probably would wake up by now. I'll just slow wake up because that was trauma.
Yeah, I think uncharacteristically when the others wake up, Rook isn't awake yet. And still lying in
Vane
the tent.
hasn't slept. He's yeah, he'll sleep on the journey probably, or like at some point when he passes out, but he's very wired. For no reason in particular. Apart from the, dying, but
You holding up there, Vane?
yeah, yes, I'm fine.
You sure? Because I don't know. Have you slept?
No, I was doing a watch.
Okay.
I'll get him up. Kato stands up and you see he cracks his back. Especially after the beating he all took. Just the day before, he walks over and leans over Rook and shakes you awake.
Well, morning.
Were you planning on sleeping in?
I was really gonna. I was wondering if I'd wake up. If we're having breakfast, Matt, there's no reason to be so tardy.
Guess we should go see what this is about.
I suppose so. Shouldn't stick around for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No. Pull myself up and take down the tent I was in.
Okay.
Vane will be like sheepishly kind of trying to help where he can, but still kind of just being very, I don't know if jumpy's the right word, but he's very like wired.
On edge?
Yeah, definitely.
You probably should get some sleep.
I'll be fine.
I mean, I know you just died, but you really don't look so good.
I'm scared to sleep.
I get that feeling too sometimes.
You'll have to do it eventually.
You're no use
Mm.
asleep on your feet.
Exactly. Try
Not
to catch some sleep in the
much-
car later.
Not much use when I'm awake either.
Let's see what the plans for breakfast is, and then you can lie down in the cart. And if you don't go to sleep, we'll have Cato administer his torpor. That should fix the problem.
Very well.
I'll march
What
over
would-
to the pool and see if there's anyone, if Kamuli or Larry is about.
Yeah. As you walk down, you see that the sun is beating on the clearing, reflecting over the softly lapping water of the pond. Different from yesterday, you see that the area around you is covered in a blanket of pink flowers that soften your step as you walk down. And you do see the hunched and the wrinkled figure of Kilmoody, who is sat cross-legged on the blanket of flowers. Their eyes are closed. But you do see the pixies and the sprites flitting about you and the water. Across the way, you see the feminine figures of Green and Leaves have gathered at the bank of the river. And the woman of water that had pushed Vane's platform back to the bank.
Raft.
Raft. She is currently directing the flow of the river into swirls and small whirlpools.
Yeah, I'll make my way down, and then I will just wait silently for a couple of moments just to see if I'm acknowledged in some way, because I don't want to interrupt them if there's something going on.
Yep. About a minute or so passes before Kimuli opens his eyes, and before you, with the smattering of like little fireworks going off, you see food appears on this flower blanket. Sweetbreads, savory vegetable fritters, stacks of pancakes covered in this glossy syrup, and just mountains upon mountains of pastries. Cinnamon rolls, fig rolls, lotus seed buns, taiyaki buns in the shape of salmon with multitudes of filling, profiteroles, dessert samosas, fairy cakes, and your bog standard croissant. Croissant. Larry, the sprite that you've come to recognize, flits down and turns to Camille. He goes,
"For your assistance in retrieving the millstone, Kilmooly gives you these foods to replenish your rations. He says they are made with the finest flour that will give you some of our magic."
Very much appreciated. Are we permitted to take them with us for the road, or are we to consume them here?
You may take them with you, but Kilmooly also asks that you sit here and partake of the feast before you leave.
I think that would be amenable. I'll look up to everyone else and sort of wave them down.
Bane will kind of like gingerly walk up and like sit down.
Mhm.
Walk.
Yeah.
so there are enough rations there to replace the good rations that were taken from the bag of colding.
Good, good. Because I was absolutely going to throw any remaining food after we've eaten into the bag of colding.
So I believe
Do we
that's-
have a...
You're back up to 39 in the bag of colding after Vane partook of his pepper and beef stew outside of Farnforth.
Okay. So I'll put us up to 39, and then I
39,
guess I'll
correct.
mark down 4 for, like, now,
Sure.
as people eat now.
Sounds good.
Do keep a number, though. What number are you at currently, though?
35.
After...
After reducing the 4 that we're going to eat now.
No, I mean before that, before back up to 39. What was the number?
Oh, we were at 16.
16. Jesus Christ. Okay.
That was like 16 of like the party rations, and then I had 7 of my own rations.
Yeah. So what is that? 39 minus 16. That is 23.
Oh, okay. Yes. I understand.
So that is 23 rations made with the finest fey flour.
Sure, there's no bad like things that could happen with Fae flour.
Well, as Larry translated for you, these rations will give you a little bit of the their magic.
Okay. Shall I mark these rations separately then?
Please do. Yeah.
Okay. So there's 23 of these, and then we got 16 of our normal.
So yeah, you guys are all free to dig in.
Bane kind of like will pick.
Picking
But if
anything
they
in
taste
particular,
good.
just it all tastes
The
good.
cinnamon buns.
Yep. They are
Yeah.
coated in icing. And maybe it's just the shock after yesterday, but the sugar kick is... Your body is really receptive to it right now.
Yeah. Death will do that.
Rook picks up like a selection of a couple of sweet, sugary things for the immediate energy rush of getting back on the road. But a lot of what he have is primarily carbs and the breads and the croissants.
Yeah.
He's carbo loading for the journey ahead.
Same, but add some proteins.
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay, I will eat the sausage.
While you're eating Roshana, you do see one of the pixies splits down to you and goes,
Excuse me?
Yes.
What is this?
and she shows you what looks to be like a piece of parchment that was used to wrap one of the rations that was in the bag of colding. And written on it is Shava Fey Delicatessen and Family Butchers.
That's where the food that you guys got from us came from my parents.
Oh, from your parents.
Yes.
But you have to buy it.
Yeah, you have to use money.
Okay.
But they're very good.
And what is this?
And she points to the word butcher. Butchery.
This is going to be awkward.
So how do I explain this? You know when people, humans or humanoids take animals, they do kill them to eat them.
Eat them.
And that's what the butcher kind of does. And then they take the cuts of meat that they need to make these meats.
So the butchers kill the animals.
Some butchers do, mostly the hunters do. The butchers
Hunters.
prepare the meats.
See, she looks between you and the piece of parchment.
Mm-hmm.
You just hear her say,
Amazing.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you see she like slyly but not so slyly like nabs one of the crumbs from one of the croissants that you've been eating, and she just pops into her mouth and flits away.
Hey, Roshana,
Yeah.
you know the idea of like animals killing animals isn't unknown to forest creatures.
Yeah, but how do you explain such a thing?
I would imagine the presentation aspect of butchery is quite bizarre to people who live in a forest, so I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
It should be fine, I hope.
Well, if your family butchery is overrun with Fae next time we're back, that's on you.
Is it? Who was carrying the bag of clothing?
Me.
Yeah.
But your
The-
family's name isn't written on it.
No, but it's on the paper the rations were
And
In?
where did we get that?
from the bag of clothing.
All right, and who told them what it said?
I did.
Okay, so we've got to loop back around to you, I'm finding.
We'll split it 50-50.
You know, it's actually annoying. I actually came up with a solution to the whole food being stolen thing, but it became a non-issue because they stole Vane.
Yeah.
And now it doesn't look like it'll be a problem anymore, but I had a really cunning plan.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Oh, cunning.
Do share with us your cunning plan, Mr. Hobgoblin.
I might still need it, so maybe I won't. Mr. Sprite.
Well, you're the Hobgoblin I thought you were.
And he flies off.
Yeah, that's about right.
Wow, rude.
Master Kalmuli is the... I don't know why I'm specifically speaking to you, because I won't understand a word that comes out of your nose. But, is there any, advice you would give us for the rest of the journey forward? We're actually quite curious because, there's meant to be, like giants south of the forest, a fair bit south. And we know they haven't pushed north. Is that because of you guys? Or something else that we should be made aware of?
He scratches with
Larry!
his very long fingernails at his chin, and he points a finger upwards before standing up from the little rock that he's been sitting on, and he walks over this blanket of pink flowers that you guys have been sat down and partaking from the food from. He walks across it again, and you just hear him go,
Oh, not on the food. Oh,
he's walked past you guys, he's not spitting on the food.
oh okay. Thank you.
And beneath your bottoms, you feel the earth begin to rumble and shake.
Oh God, they put laxatives in the food.
Oh my god.
You see most of the fairy folk around you have begun to flit higher up, and they back off towards the water as they seem to be expecting something to approach.
I start like manically shoving the remaining food into my bag of clothing.
Okay.
Sort of like crouched over like a wild animal.
Yep. And you see, with a burst of earth and flying clods of dirt, a ginormous green-furred creature erupts from the earth beneath. And you cover yourselves instinctually. Gathering all the food, resource camping, just get it all in. only to see these lumps of earth begin to bounce gently off of a shimmering pink barrier that Kimuli seems to have popped up with his tiny little hands, which begins to dissipate as you look up to see what looks to be a pink starred nose mole. Far greater than any critter you've ever seen. Or creature, for that matter, possibly rivaling the hill giant that you guys fought back on Warrior's Day. Yeah.
I commit the beast to memory.
You see Kilmuli steps forward and pulls from what looks to be like a brown plate into view, with these two almost leather kind of straps hanging off of either side. This green-colored mole, the fur kind of looks like the strands of luscious grass that you've been passing by as you've been traversing through the forest, begins to clamber out of the hole that it's dug into the ground. A few pixies flit forward and take the plate contraption from Kilmuli before flying over to the mole's back. You watch as the plate becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and larger and larger, and the straps too. And numerous fairies and sprites have to join in to heft this plate before it becomes large enough to completely cover the back of this humongous mole. They begin to slowly lower the plate until it nestles onto the mole's back. And two sprites flit down to tie the straps about the mole's belly. Sorry, Vane, you wanted to say?
No, I was just kind of stunned by what I was seeing.
And Kilmuli turns towards you and waves towards the mole.
Like, waves us towards the mole?
Yeah.
And it's not just him saying hello to the mole. Okay.
No, he's
yeah,
looking at you, waving his hand towards the mole.
I look at Kilmuli, and then I look over towards our cart and our horses, and I look back to Kilmuli, squinting my eyes, and I walk over to the mole.
Yep. And as you do, the mole hops back into the hole it previously made and begins to bury and shuffle itself into position. And once the noise and the rumble settles down, you walk over towards the plate and see that the mole is now nowhere visible above the ground. But this plate seems to be in place. You see Kilmuli points towards your cart and the horses.
So you want us to...
Does he gesture to put the cart and the horses on the plate?
He seems to be, yeah.
I will go over and slowly lead the horses onto the plate.
Yeah.
Very trepidatiously.
And this plate was large to begin with, but it's really only when you bring the horses into scale that you see how large this plate actually is. Maybe about 20 foot in diameter.
Damn.
It's a big mole and a big plate.
Yeah. Vane will kind of follow the cart. Yeah. Slightly concerned about everything that's happening.
Yeah. You see Kilmuli kind of scratches the top of his head, the long pink hair flowing. He calls over Larry, who approaches.
Master Kilmuli asked that you put something to stop the cart from rolling.
Oh, um, I'll like begin looking around. And I'll like get a long stick and just like feed it in between the spokes in the base of the cart. So if it tries
And
to roll forward or backwards, the stick will bump into the bottom of the cart.
I'll also get like some, if there's like a couple of wedges or like logs, and just kind of put them underneath where the wheels are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, easy enough to do. There's plenty around here. You see, the Fae have kind of gathered around this little pathway. The Dryads and the Woman of Water have not moved from the lake, but they are watching on. You see some of the pixies begin to wave.
Rain will sheepishly kind of raise a hand and kind of semi-wave back.
Okay.
But when he sees the water elemental lady, he'll give like a proper nod and
She seems to smile in return. And with that, and a thumbs up from Kilmuli, you feel the earth about you begins to shake quite violently, and the horses whinny with uncertainty. Before everything atop of the place lurches forward and begins pelting through the forest at breakneck speed. The earth beneath you begins to buckle into a small and literally rolling hill beneath you as the mole picks up speed and courses through the forestscape. The wind whooshes past you, and you are almost deafened as you shoot forward. The horses buckle and nestle down onto the ground, uncertain for their lives, and you are glad you reinforced the wheels before takeoff for fear of rolling off this platform. You watch as the path narrows for a moment and the nearby trees lift as this ball of soil you are surfing on torrents through them. All of you are pretty high passive perception, so you can see in slow motion a number of roots peek their way out of the ground as you zoom past the trees before they plonk into the ground behind you. For those looking behind, you would see that the earth that the mole has burrowed through begins to seamlessly knit and meld back into place, as though not a soul had traversed it. The tree leaves are still rustling, but the roots are tidally swept into the ground beneath. You are traveling through the forest at a very fast pace. Is there anything you guys would like to do?
hold on.
Hold on for dear life.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
One death is this week is enough for Vane, so he's holding on for dear life.
Yeah, and you see Kato is very much just holding on to the cart, but also the wheel itself, making sure that the logs you put into place don't move. Does anyone know which way this thing is going?
I don't know if that matters.
As long as the way out?
It's going somewhere, and we're
I
gonna
don't
be
think
there.
we could stop it even if we tried.
Okay! He shouts over the wind that's whistling past you. And some of you stand at the plate for a while before you find the need to crawl up onto the cart itself, because it is a good 45 minutes of travel over this tumultuous earth that seems to knit back into place after you've passed through it. Rook, you see a river in the distance.
That's a good sign.
The river that, has been to your left, so to speak, through your southerly travel. It seems to be finally crossing your path.
Rook begins to consider by what means this mole is going to take to contend with this river.
Yeah.
He's probably got away, right?
I'm less worried about the river and more worried about the stop
Yeah,
when
it's
we
not
all
the
fly
fit-
forward, because it
not the
stops
fall
like
that kills you.
it's the ground.
It's the sudden stop at the end.
Well, the humongous mole continues onward without doubt or warning. You approach the river, and its waters and its slimy bed come up to meet you. And for a few split seconds, you feel a spray of water, and a few fish go flying into the air around you before you torrent onwards, and the river falls back into place behind, and the fish blink back into the water, seemingly untouched. The water continues to flow on as you bury onwards.
I bet those fish are really confused.
Yeah, wait till they get home and tell their wives what happened.
All right.
Oh my God.
Believe it.
You will never guess what happened to me.
They will warn their children.
There's a whole
There I
world
was.
outside the river.
Rashana, as you're looking on, like blink and you would miss it. You do see a small crossroad sign as you bury onwards that rises up to greet you as well, with the rolling soil. One pointing in the direction of Milan, and the other to Valahir. Though, of course, the mole pays no heed, as it just carries on forwards towards the furthest
The
edge
mole
of the
can't
forest.
read.
Guys, I think we're almost at the crossroads.
That's good. I hope this isn't a conventional star-nosed mole, because they're blind. I'm sure this one can see, right?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
And just a minute or so passes, and you see the crossroads go flying by.
Oh, goodness.
But you
Did we
seem
miss our turn?
you seem to be heading south, unless you want to go to Valahir. That's up to you.
Keep
I
going
don't think
south.
I don't think we've got much of a choice. Excuse me, Mr. Mole.
After another 15 minutes, the air begins to open up and the trees become sparse. The earth now is covered in more grasses and flower bushes rather than the debris and whatnot of the forest floor. And your travel starts to slow.
Oh, thank God he's not doing an emergency stop.
And the mole begins to burrow down even further until it reaches the level of the earth. And after about a minute or two, the movement stops. The plate slows on the ground. And you are free to walk off.
We keep the plate.
It's a little unwieldy.
20 foot diameter plate. Yeah, please tell me how you're going to carry it. I'd
I'm
love
going
to
to
know.
roll it.
Well, Kato can telekinetic move it, can't he? So
Yeah, we'll move it 30 feet a day.
yeah, we'll get there eventually. Vane will kind of you know how when you step off of like an escalator, and you feel like you've got that kind of forward movement feeling. He'll step off, and then kind of his knees will buckle, and he'll kind of fall to all fours and be like, "I'll do take some deep breaths."
I'll take the necessary moments to calm down the horses.
Yeah. And after those necessary moments, you do see they look between each other, and rather jelly-legged, they begins to stand up, and as soon as they see terra firma, they happily trot off the plate, pulling the cart with them. As you do so, you turn just as you hear the shuffling of earth. And you seem to be standing somewhere near the mole's neck. It kind of turns its head towards you. You're standing between the head and the plate itself.
I'll just say in Sylvan, thank you very much for the trip. It's very much appreciated.
You see this shining, wet, pink star nose snuffles a bit in acknowledgement before it dives back into the earth again, and the soil shaking before it flattens out as the plate that you were standing on slowly begins to rotate. By the time
Lazy Susan.
it makes a 180 turn, the mole takes off again, picking up speed, and you see that it was completely blind. This mole seems to have the ability to both burrow through the earth but also manipulate it. Like a blanket of earth just covers its being. And seemingly the place was just there to make sure that you weren't being dragged by the earth it left behind. But
Comfort.
it zooms back into the forest, the earth melding back into place, and the shaking dies down.
Well done, guys. You're out of the Tarnished Forest.
We should have done that from the first day.
How would you get a mole cab?
Mole cab.
I should really hire that guy in Faintforth. Just
You should, yeah. You should
Yeah.
also learn to do that.
Oh,
I don't know if that's conventional magic, but I'll see what I can do.
Good.
I can do part of that.
Well, yeah, it's the whole thing really we would need. Then kind of flops down onto his back after being on his hands and knees, and just kind of enjoys the flat, still earth for a second. You deep breaths. It's good to be out of the forest, at least.
Yeah.
I knew we'd run into nonsense. I said it before we even left the city.
You did say.
Still unprepared, though.
Would anyone be prepared for this?
Maybe.
They don't exactly put it in the job description.
I mean, it's awfully close to, like, the city for so little to be known.
Yeah.
It's a strange place, though.
That's fair. Shall we continue south then? Find the road to...
Yes. It's been like you said, it was like a 45-minute journey.
About an hour in total.
Hour total. Okay, so it's like
It's still
not
early
even
morning.
not even midday.
Nope, nowhere near midday.
We're making progress, guys. Okay. Vane's gonna hop on the cart now that we're out of the forest and just kind of have a little bit of a sort of rest. Now that it doesn't feel like he's being strangled by the trees.
Yeah, roll out all of our bed rolls just on the base of the carriage. And
Yeah. Just
resign
over.
Vane to mandatory rest.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll kind of just perch up where like fit around the barrels where he can, and just try and get some rest because he feels like shit.
And speaking of being strangled by the forest, it's a...
Oh, let's not start, shall we?
I'm saying it's a very opposite feeling you're
Oh, okay,
now
good.
experiencing.
Now I have
You
too
are-
much air. Help!
But you can now fully appreciate the landscape before you, beneath this grey and overcast sky. In the distance, you do see a few flashes of light every now and then, just letting you know that thunder is on the horizon. You have the Tarnished Mountains to your right, and the hills of Valahir and beyond to your left. You begin to traverse this shallow valley as the trees become sparser and sparser. I am going to need, if Vane is taking his sleps, or
Do slaps plus
trying to slep,
yeah. Trying not to have nightmares.
yeah, I need someone to steer the cart, please. Someone to do a perception check, just keep an eye out on things, and then someone to roll me a d20. So whatever Rook and Rashana don't do, Keisha will do instead.
I will do the perception.
Okay.
And I will do the drive.
Survival from you then, please. Let's see what secrets Keisha knows today.
I see nothing.
Righty, and let's roll a d20. Okay. Thankfully, Rook, as you are driving forward, there is a very well demarcated path here. Almost to the point where you feel like at times you can become a little bit lackadaisical with it. Comparing it to the abysmal path that was in the forest that was overgrown, this is clear as day to you, and you are very well able to keep up with the little stones and birds that are just sitting in the path for absolutely no reason. You managed to usher them off.
Excellent. I feel a deep desire to yell at them, but because Vane's sleeping in the back, I'll remain quiet.
Okay.
Get out of the road!
See one bird just sat there, two legs sat out, going, "Ah." Looks like it's been struck with something. Rashana, you are a bit overcome with the sheer immensity of this large open space.
Mm-hmm.
No buildings as far as the eye can see, just pure wilderness. And while the sky is open to you in Clancombe, there is always like that comfort of knowing that, you know, someone is literally just around the corner. This is both a little bit terrifying, but also awe-inspiring. And yeah, you're not necessarily keeping your eyes out for upcoming monsters or anything like that, but you're keeping your eye on the horizon and taking in the beauty of the landscape.
Mm-hmm.
But after a day's travel, you guys get to set up camp just beyond the tree line. And I can finally give you back your little brown rectangular blobby thing.
Yeah.
It's called a cart. Duh.
Sure.
Righty.
What would you guys like to do?
Bane, how long have we been going for?
Like a day's travel. Like you got a really good start in the morning. But,
Well, I was just thinking, like, in terms of how long Vane had been, like, in and out of sleep for while we were traveling.
I'd
'cause
say
of-
the most you get is a short rest from the sleps that you've had.
Okay. In which case he'll continue. I wasn't sure if, like, because if he got managed a long rest, I would say like he would probably be up all night. But if he didn't, he will continue to try and sleep.
Okay.
After helping with like maybe some food and putting a tent up or some such.
After checking you, Kato comes around to Rook and Rashana. Yeah, he's out cold.
Well,
Good.
at least he's getting some rest.
Yeah. I'd kind of hoped that after leaving the city we could have more. I knew it was going to be dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
but, be a little bit more tranquil, but we haven't been so lucky yet.
No, luck has not been in our fortune.
Which is strange because immediately after leaving the city we ran into someone who deals in luck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe she was a scam.
Maybe.
I'm not so sure about that. I've just realized I should have been using the rolls from the cradle. Disregard that 14.
Is there any? How many rolls are there left on the
I think it's
cradle?
only about 4. Hold on, I had it written down. See, there he is. Okay. Oh, so he uses a 9 for the roll. Write that down. But it's all good, by the way.
Okay.
I mean, it seemed to work for me.
Man, I didn't buy anything, so.
And didn't you give Vane a stone that you bought, Roshana?
Yeah. I did.
Hmm.
Maybe you're less lucky when it's given to you? I'm not
Well,
sure.
Let's just presume it would have been worse without it, and
Yeah.
move forward. And whatever small blessing that we all left that forest, alive,
Mm-hmm.
despite the fluctuations in that statement during the transition through the forest, we can maybe chalk that up to the luck.
Yeah.
Either way, fingers crossed, though I know we're probably not so lucky as it to be true. But let's hope the stupid hill giant problem, is simpler.
Well, we have defeated one before.
What's 20 more?
Exactly.
This sounds a little bit optimistic for my
I mean,
life.
No,
but
I think, we lock them down with magic, we take them on one at a time. Keep our distance, it'll be fine.
I mean, as long as we can cast slow on them.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I don't fancy my chances of being able to tie them down with vines.
No.
I mean, I think you'd have a better chance with them than with Miss Granny Pants Spike there.
I'm not gonna use her as like a
Yeah.
reference point.
No, let's not.
I think she's probably been the worst that we've seen so far, though.
Yeah.
So far.
So far, indeed.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Hags, Fae bullshit. Very annoying.
Truly.
But anyway. We should,
Do you think he's going to be okay? I mean, he was dead for a week. Roughly.
I know it's a selfish thought to have. I kind of need him to be.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with the choice we had to make. And I'd make it again to get him back.
Same.
But I need to know that he's gonna be able to be happy, living the life he has now. Otherwise, we just sold out whatever that heart can be used for to something terrible for no reason.
Suppose it depends on what makes him happy. I've never seen that kind of magic before. To be honest, I didn't even know it existed.
It's a first for me too.
Whatever that heart is, it was very potent, and I'm sure it could be used for a great many things. Most of those things are probably bad, and I'm sure those are exclusively what she's going to use it for. All we can really hope is it's not anywhere close to here. Ideally,
Mm-hmm.
goes to the Feywild, fucks up shit in there and we don't have to deal with it. And I don't know.
I
Gonna
was
be
can
rough
only
in
hope.
that forest, I think.
more so referring to the life. Bringing
Oh,
someone
the
back from
resurrection.
dead. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I was very confused, and I didn't really have time to process it. But, she bit him, and, killed him as collateral.
It really was odd.
And I know she said, when we were sort of finishing our bargaining at the end, when we had the heart, she said that the components for the resurrection were expensive or rare. But even then,
She did it so willingly.
yeah, I mean, it couldn't have, she chose that method of collateral. She could have just taken Vane, locked him up. But the fact that something like that is so within her ability.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope we're not forced to bargain with her again.
I hope not.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he's still here with us. But it does make you think what else is out there.
I don't know about you guys, but personally, if your guy's only option to like bring me back to life was to make a deal with a fey hag, I probably wouldn't ask you to pay that price.
Well, I mean, Vane didn't ask for it either, and I think if we did ask, he wouldn't have wanted us to do it.
Yeah.
We were actually being selfish at that point. We
True.
don't know what kind of chaos we can have havoc with giving the hag the thing she wanted.
I mean, getting Vane back was a big motivating force.
Oh,
Definitely.
definitely.
But the position we were in, we were gonna have to go get and give it to them anyway for the golden millstone.
Yeah.
So
You think those sprites knew?
what? How dangerous she was, or
That-
about the?
That we had to give her the heart of the forest?
It didn't seem like it.
Probably not.
I hope not.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if they knew that that's what she wanted, they would have tried to stop us from getting it.
Yeah.
Like they would
Yeah,
have suspected us leaving afterwards, or
They also stayed really close to the clearing. I mean, sure, they couldn't cross the area to meet her, but they could have waited nearby.
They could have.
yeah. There's definitely a lot more than we know going on in that forest.
Definitely.
We didn't even run into the child,
Yeah.
which I'm almost grateful for.
Yeah. I mean, the hounds already were scary.
And if a
Uh-huh.
child was able to command the hags,
Mm-hmm.
It's a crazy, wild world we live in, isn't it?
It is.
well, I for one
See-
am happy to be out of that part. He points back to the forest.
See,
Yeah.
this is why when I joined, we had Fern, like, teleport me from the other continent over here. Because if I had to walk up here by myself, I would have fucking died.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. Where did you say you were from again?
Zaltari Wastes. South of here.
But that's like very south of here.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the immediately south, like, I don't know if I'd say continent, but, like, area. But, yeah, quite far. Here, look at this map.
Yeah, that looks to be quite the trek.
Mm-hmm.
How would you have crossed the river or the sea? I suppose.
Walked. Swam.
I was about to say, I know you did that water walking thing in the forest.
could-
but I don't with that.
I couldn't do that back then, but I could swim.
Okay.
At least it's better than the sewer.
Or, you know, like, turn into a rat and hide on a boat.
That would probably be smarter, yes.
Yeah, that seems a lot less strenuous.
I might need to punch a cat or two, depending on how much they care about their rodents, but would make it work.
Yeah, what's one rat?
Or a spider, you know.
It's never one rat.
True, but I
Always
mean,
more.
if you were the one rat and could keep the other rats away, that might have helped.
When
They
you're a
wouldn't
rat,
need
the
to
other
catch
rats
them.
don't care, but...
So,
I assume it's getting fairly late into the day at this stage.
yeah, you guys have all set up.
Set up camp.
I think we should give Vane the night off. I don't mind taking an extra watch.
That's fine. We can probably split it between all of us and
Yeah.
Yeah,
lie in a little bit.
that sounds alright.
Mm-hmm.
I can take first, if that's alright.
I'll take
Sure.
second then.
Alrighty.
In the planes that we like set up on, is there anywhere we could have set up that has like a reasonably sized like rock or boulder sticking out of the ground?
There are a couple of boulders around, yeah.
Okay. When we were choosing a place to set up, Rook would have like pulled out towards there so that we could like set up the fire with somewhere that has like a little bit of cover from the elements.
You certainly can do.
And as we get ready to sort of like lie down for the night, Rook would have been ritually casting a spell. When it starts to come into completion, he'll like grab all of his stuff and hold it to his chest and just say, for those of you interested, what my plan was to keep our stuff safe, just knock really loudly when you want to get me up. And he'll just like step inside the rock and cast meld into stone
Ah, smart.
Nice.
with all of his like things.
Step into a stone object or a surface large enough to fully contain your body, melding yourself and all the equipment you carry with the stone for the duration. Nothing if your presence remains visible. La 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 la. You can't see what occurs outside of it, and any perception checks you make to hear sounds outside are made with disadvantage. You remain aware of the passage of time and cast spells on yourself when wishes in the zone. Cool. Nice
Yeah.
one. Okay. So, Rook the Rock.
Rook the Rock.
WWE. Hey! Okay, so Kato is going to take first watch, and with the remainder of his cradle, he's going to use the better of the numbers and use a 5.
Oh my god.
+2, though, so it's a 7. So, Kato doesn't
mean-
fall asleep on his watch, but damn, you're close to.
It's close to his normal rolls, so
Oh. Damn. God damn. Alrighty. And the rest of you get to have the good sleeps for about the first 2 and almost 3 hours before Roshana, Kato rustles you awake. If the rook is rocking, you must come knocking, because rocks have hard hearing.
oh my god.
Oh. Even asleep, he's still a barding.
Yeah.
Okay. Roshana, you nestle down to take your watch. Just give me a perception check, please.
Yes. That's a 9.
That's another 2 for you.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Wow. Great.
I can't wait for things to like go horribly wrong. The whole camp
Yeah.
has been attacked, and then it just like the camera pans to just a very silent rook inside a rock just sleeping.
A fetus within the rock, just the rock womb.
This is how a rook is born.
Oh my god.
Good one.
Oh my god.
Well, that's Vane's next song, apparently, on the album, alongside, the Shabba Family Butcher's Delicatessen. Ugh, okay.
Before my watch ends, I want to cast Detect Evil and Good.
Ooh, okay. Throw up there then, please.
Here.
Thank you.
And mainly because I am worried about Vane and his resurrection stuff.
Okay.
Unspoiled.
Mm-hmm.
The duration.
Has he been desecrated?
I do not know.
For the duration, you know if there is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet. Also, is there indication? Okay.
Luckily, I'm protected by my 1 foot of stone, so you'll never know my secrets.
You'll never know.
I have
Oh.
casted this spell before when you were near.
Yeah. But
I'm just a guy.
You're just a little guy.
oh, righty. Is there anything else you'd like to do during your watch?
No, I will knock on the rock.
Okay. Dub, 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 dub.
Rook, your turn.
Okay, good. How did the watch go? Any little
Fine.
elephant guys?
No.
Okay, any like man-faced dogs stare out at you at the darkness?
No. I'm still scared of them.
I don't think they'll follow us outside of the forest.
Yeah, hopefully not.
And if they do, we'll kill them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Get some rest.
Thanks. I'll see you come morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I
I'll
go to
reach.
slaps.
I'll reach into my pocket and pull out an owl
Okay.
and have it sit on top of the rock and help me keep watch.
Alrighty. Please give me a perception check. You can do with an advantage with the help action from the owl, I'm assuming.
Yes. That's a 10.
Damn. Okay.
Yes.
Alrighty. You sit out, Rock. The area becomes quite dark. In the. Is it twilight? It's not twilight. It's the dawn phase. You know that series of books. It's the dawn phase where things become quite dark before the light breaks, and
New dawn.
oh my god, between the two vertical landscapes, let's say, of the Valahar Hills and the Tarnished Mountains, it does become quite dark for a moment, about an hour or so, before things begin to rapidly change in the amount of light. The sky goes from being pitch dark with the twinkling stars above into the stars fading themselves, and then the sky becoming a mauvish purplish color, dusty, before you do see the sun breaks on the horizon across the hills, and a new day is upon you. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Wake everybody up.
Ugh. I'm bored now. Wake everyone else up. You know when you're like the first person up at a sleepover?
Oh no, I hated that. It was always me.
I essentially had the same thing last weekend when I stayed over at someone after their birthday, because I was up at 7:30, and then I had a coffee and conversation with their dad for 2 hours before the next person was up.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
God.
Nice.
It's actually quite a nice conversation.
Yeah, it usually is, but it's yeah, it's the awkward anticipation
Awkward.
before you actually settle into the conversation. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are they going to be cool? Or are they? Yeah. Are they just going to leave me alone? I don't know. Okay. So everyone gets rustled awake. It is a brand new day. Vane, you're down to -3 on your resurrection
Everything.
status. Yep. I'll just pop that in the chat so you know.
Thank
Vane
you.
on -3
Thank you, Kato.
resurrection status. Thanks for reminding me. Big poo. No, I don't want to do that. There we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Righty. What is the plan for today, guys?
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
Breakfast. What kind of breakfast does everyone want? Do they want some sort of strange fey pastry? Do they want a family butcher meat, or do they want a berry?
I think I'll stick with the berry for the time being. Don't know what that face stuff is.
Sounds like everybody's getting a berry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
I will
Sounds
cast
fine.
good berry.
Oh, righty. For her up there.
Yes. So each of us
Lovely.
get a berry. Horses get a berry.
Nom, 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 nom.
Er,
With 4 berries left, I keep them. They're mine.
I mean, if like a bear jumps out of the forest, you just throw a berry at him, he'll eat it, and they'll go, "Oh, actually, I don't really fancy human today or
If a
hobgoblin
bear
today."
comes out of the forest, I'll turn into a bear. And then we'll have a showdown.
Bear wrestling. Yep.
Okay, actually, yeah, I'd rather watch that.
BBW, brown bear wrestling. So stupid. I'm
Or
sorry.
it could have also been black bear wrestling.
Yeah, but brown bears are more apparent in this region. Just saying.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm not aware of the regional
you just
wildlife.
you just got fucking
Oh,
outlawed.
hello, Hachi.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Achoo.
Great.
She has welcomed us with her presence.
Hello.
Hello, Hachi.
Hello.
Vane will enjoy his good berry, and then sit on the back of the cart, and kind of be tired still, even though he slept he's almost slept too long.
Mhm. Which makes you tired, so that makes sense as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Either way,
Oh,
my
I know.
dude, you are screwed.
Oh, I am very much aware.
I will drive the cart again.
Very well. Kato pops his head around to the front of the cart where Rashawn and Rick are standing. Should someone talk to him?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
And do you want me to?
Not it.
Oh, wow. Okay, I guess I'll go over then.
Okay. I'll stand beside you and like nod and then like put my hand on his shoulder.
I'll tend to the horses. Kato drops down.
Go to Vane. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Shana.
Hey, Vane, do we need to talk about Kato?
Oh, what seems to be wrong with him?
Just very dismissive.
Yeah.
Today,
That's him in a nutshell, really, isn't it?
well, you know, but in like particular.
Did anything happen to him while I was away?
The usual old man stuff, but
Hmm.
Perhaps he's getting senile.
Yeah, maybe.
I think being knocked unconscious by those man-faced dogs probably
Yeah.
didn't help.
Mm. Well, I'm
How
sure. I'm
are
sure
you?
they'll be. Um, I'm. I'm okay. I don't feel great. Very tired. I feel kind of out of place. I don't know really how long I was away.
About a week.
Yeah.
It felt longer.
I bet.
I mean, I don't know if it's any consolation. Probably not. You're probably the only person in a very long way, in a very long time, that's come back.
I mean, I've never heard of it before.
Thought you were tending to the horses.
I,
Pick a lane.
I felt bad. I came around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a normal feeling to have.
Yeah.
Hey, I've seen people die before, alright? I've never seen someone come back.
Well, I mean, maybe we have seen them come back, but not in the way we should. Kind of.
That
I
is,
don't count undead. That doesn't count.
I mean, you look tired, but you don't look undead.
No, you actually look quite good. A little bit, bags under the eyes, but
Yeah, you should share your skincare routine.
I think it's just in the genes.
Yeah.
ain't that the way of it?
But yeah, I just need to settle in myself and kind of try and understand what I experienced and how. I'm still trying to piece together if any of this is real.
Well, I mean, where we are now, this is real. But
It's exactly what a not real thing would say.
You want me to pinch you?
Trust me, what I experienced, pinching is
Yeah.
not the thing I wouldn't require. But I appreciate the thoughts. Hopefully after some rest, I'll feel more myself.
you can always speak to us.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Thank you.
Please don't feel like you have to bottle everything up just for our sake.
Same to you. And I apologize once again for causing.
There's nothing to apologize for. That was nothing more than being in the wrong place. Any one of us could have been on the ground
Yeah,
when she decided to take her collateral.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were just the closest. As unsatisfactory as that sounds.
Yes, maybe. I seem to always be the one being kidnapped or murdered.
A testament to the threat you hold to those that wish the rest of us ill.
I don't think that's the case, but I appreciate the idea.
I'm sure you'll have your opportunity in the future. Not too long. To
And you have
showcase.
sorry, but you have showcased a lot already. I mean, if you didn't slow that hill giant back at the tournament, it might have been a different outcome.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Maybe.
But Rook
At
is
least
right.
we were
you
safe then.
You'll have the opportunity to showcase more.
I'll do my best not to disappoint again.
You don't disappoint.
I haven't done it yet.
I appreciate it.
I think you need to start recognizing the good that you do and stop getting caught up in the unfortunate events. It's okay if you forget every now and then. We'll remind you.
Thank you. I'll endeavour to try to be more optimistic.
Well, our journey to our quest is still yet unfinished.
Mm-hmm.
We should make our way to Milan and gain as much information as we can.
Yes, I agree.
Hopefully they will have insight into the giants.
I'm very curious as to why they haven't come up north.
Yeah, we should probably be cautious.
I don't know. There's a giant mole and a hag.
Oh, yeah, I know
Yeah,
that, but not up to
That's
Milan.
the forest.
Up in the forest.
Well, the forest is around Milan, is it not?
Hmm.
From the
I was
going-
passwords,
how-
like the forest
I
is
don't-
all around the mountains, but I feel like that's the main butt of it back there.
Oh yes, I think so. I just assume that the mole person can mole giant whatever it was can travel quite
I'm sure we would have been told by the denizens of the forest if they had confronted the giants before.
well. That's true.
I was going to say subterfuge isn't really my area of expertise, but should we be a little bit more careful going into Milan with stating our business, just in case they have any connection to the presumed mastermind of these attacks?
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Perhaps our reason for journeying there was to rid a poor young woman of her worries about her partner who traveled through the forest weeks ago.
Yes, it could be that. It could also be there on business. I hear a new shop has opened up in Montgomery, and mayhaps they're looking for some supplies.
I don't really know enough about Milan to know what it's popular for, what it makes, what it does.
Honey, isn't it?
Honey.
Hmm.
Oh, that makes sense. I feel like in my head I thought that was Fainfirth, which is why I was very confused about why they didn't have honey.
Okay.
And I thought that's where we were dealing with the mead. Okay, I see. Honey could be a good way in.
Honey. Honey. Yes, I think that's a sensible option.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're in agreement.
Indeed. And if need be, I can make us look more businessy, at least for this area.
Probably be best if you just said that I was a guide.
Well, yes.
That way
I suppose that makes sense.
they don't have to ask me too complicated of a question regarding business or commerce.
Well, no, I would think I would answer those questions.
Mm-hmm.
It is my realm.
Right. Shall we set out?
Sounds like a plan.
Right, set out. Oh, did we do a watch? What year is it?
It is the year 673 of the 5th suite.
Oh. Where have I been all this time?
Oh gosh.
You know when you sleep and you're not really sure what day it is?
God,
You slept for like 15 hours. That's
Yeah.
basically how Vane is currently. He's like, wait,
What
what?
year is it? Yeah.
What's happening? It was yesterday a second ago. Yeah, now it's tomorrow. Where did today go?
Alrighty. Rook said you are taking the cart.
Mm-hmm.
Who would like to take watch and who would like to roll the d20?
I'll roll a d20.
I'll take watch.
Alrighty. Please roll your perspective.
Woo!
Thingamabobbers then, please.
Perceptive.
Damn.
Hey, there's that 14. Don't worry, Gato. I took one for you.
What?
I'm just trying to remember the terms of my resurrection issues. Impotence.
Sorry, I'll get the spell up now.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
Attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. So yeah, it is
Okay.
a -3.
Ouch.
Yeah. I wasn't. Oh, wait. I sent that to you. I'm dumb.
Oh no, it's just a d20. So it's just a d20, please, hon. No change or anything.
Yeah, do you want that one? Because I accidentally didn't send it to.
Put it in
The
the roll
entire-
20. What the fuck are you sending me?
Yeah, well, it's in the roll 20.
I don't see it in the roll 20.
I don't either.
I sent it specifically to you. Right?
Just put it in the
or
main
to
chat, please.
GM.
Hey!
Oh, wow. Nat 20.
Yeah.
The first one this session.
It is time.
And the last.
No,
Don't
don't be
say
so
that.
negative.
Sorry, I said
Knock
I
on
was going to try and be
wood.
optimistic.
Knock on wood. Thank you.
I did.
Righty. So, yeah. Your journey continues this next day. You begin to feel the pattering of light rain on your shoulders as you drive on. The air becomes heavy and humid. After midday passes, you begin to smell the scent of a medley of flowers, sensing them before you see them, and the very faint and dull hum in the background of buzzing. The smell and buzzing becomes more prominent as the day wears on and the sky darkens more. You begin to hear the rumble and crack of thunder above. Soon, the blurred colors of purple, yellows, and whites in the distance begin to take a more detailed shape of lavender, alliums, and buddleia, foxgloves, honeysuckle, and snapdragons. It seems the bluebells and lone primrose from the forest have congregated here into full-blown meadows, with a singular path between them, leading towards a picturesque village to the south, surrounded by trees and nestled close to the base of the Tarnished Mountains. Is there anything you guys would like to do on your journey?
Vane's just keeping an eye sort of in the surrounding areas for anything that's like standing out. You said it's quite an open space compared to what we had
Dealt with
been
before, in the forest.
dealing with. So he's just kind of enjoying the the openness, the being able to see further than you like 2 feet ahead of you.
Mhm.
Hey,
Although, oh, sorry.
Kato.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I think they can do very much about it at the moment. Might be worthwhile just sending a message back to HQ to let them know that we no longer have access to a returning stone or a sanctum stone.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. You
Yeah,
see
let
the-
them know that a great and terrible witch dispelled it as we were attempting to flee, but we're fine
Yeah.
now.
He settles next to you onto the driver's seat and he opens up the book. And he goes, "Oh, it seems they noticed that we tried to use the stone and it didn't go through. How is everything okay? How are things?" It's a pretty loaded
Peachy.
question. Okay. And he begins writing back, "Peachy."
I mean,
Alive?
better than they were.
Peachy, we're alive. Better than they were. Encountered hag in forest. Escaped
Big
with...
hag.
Sorry, he scribbles out a couple of words. Big hag in forest. Escaped with our lives. Fine, but lacking means home. Quickly. Well, at least they noticed, I guess, but it doesn't really seem like we're alone out here.
Who knows? Maybe there will be another group of adventurers that are heading back up to the city that pass our route and they'll just give us theirs.
That would be very positive if that happens, but
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think
was
so
about to
either.
say that was very optimistic.
They would have to be coming through the area south of us.
I think we'd have to
Yeah.
fight them for it.
Yeah,
Ooh, that'd be interesting. Probably wouldn't go well.
for us or them.
Knowing our luck,
Well, I
the stone would break and we'd all end up back in Clancomery.
Yeah.
I would assume that trying to kill your fellow adventurers is frowned upon.
I mean,
Probably.
if we're going on morals, yes.
And they are the ones with the stone, not us. So it would look very badly on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was. My point would be like, if they were already heading back up, they didn't need it. But
Mm.
yeah, no, I don't. I think we're gonna have to be exceptionally cautious going forward. And then, future note to self: maybe don't use things like that when there's powerful magic casters looking at us.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll sort something out.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gotten this far.
Mostly.
Mostly. But
Does it seem like we're gonna make it to the town before we have to bunk down for the night?
it
Or is
seems
there
to.
another couple of...
It's approaching you. Or you're approaching it.
Oh my god, the town's moving.
Like there is a very light rain, but like you hear the buzzing and the birds calling in the distance. It's not enough for the animals to take shelter, so you think you're okay.
Yeah.
As you're passing by amongst the meadows, you spot individual white boxes. These look to be
Aviaries.
beehives. And you spot the movement of bees floating and darting above the flower heads before flying upwards with the yellow powdered pantaloons that they've got on. And there are a few folks tending to the flowers.
Sorry, the bees are wearing pantaloons.
You know what I mean. You know, the little fuzzy little coats that they have.
Okay.
Pantaloons.
Dapper pantalooned bees.
I just wanted to say that. Pantaloons, okay?
That is fair enough. It's a fun word.
You do see a few folks seem to be checking the bee boxes, removing the lids, and you do even see one of them pulls the lid out pulls the frame out from inside where all the delicious honey is kept.
Num-nums.
Num-nums. You trundle down the now gravelled path. An effort seems to have been made to maintain this path between the flowers. And eventually you see a small wooden archway marking your entry into the village proper. I'll bring you over
Oh my
to the
god, we
map.
may.
Hooray!
So, you follow the main path until you see the body of tall...
Sorry, are we coming in from the...
Sorry, I'll show you now. You're coming in this way.
I thought cool.
Yes, because you're going south. Woo!
That was my... Well, I just wasn't sure. If
Yeah, no. You see the body of tall flowers pull back, and the space opens up into a grass-covered square. They seem to be... The square seems to be surrounded by these log-style cabins with slate roofs. Where would you like to go?
To the most inn-like a building within sight.
Beeline to inn. Get it? Beeline?
Oh my god.
Okay.
I
I'd be willing to bet that if anywhere it was capital crime to do a bee pun, it would be here. So it's really
Well, off to the gallows with me. Fare thee well.
Okay. You bring the horses around to the main building here.
This one.
Sorry,
Meow.
this building here. Seems to be surrounded by tall plants with these rather large, substantial-looking, vibrant red berries. They're clustered like corn on the cob about the fronds. And the sign above the building reads, "The Cuckoo's Pint."
Is that the... I think that's the name.
Sorry?
Bring it down. Yes, the Cuckoo's Pint local tavern. There we go.
Are you talking to
Uh,
yourself again?
No, yeah. Well, yeah. I thought yeah. Well, I'm fine. Don't worry. Is there many people about?
Give me a perception check.
With disadvantage.
Hold
Um.
on. No, with a just normal roll. Just a -3. So just roll it and we'll apply the -3. So 15
12.
down to 12.
12.
There aren't many people out at the moment in this square, so to speak. But you do see someone who seems to be rocking on a chair over here. Sat in a rocking chair, I should say.
Holding a shotgun, I assume.
You coming to my hair farm?
Get her from learned.
What?
Get her from learned. Get off my land.
Oh. No, it's
Okay,
Grandpa
is that-
from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Go on.
I see. Is there a like a stable-y looking place? I assume we're gonna.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Rain will hop down off the back of the caravan and kind of have a wander over to the stable to see if there's like a stable hand or someone working in there.
Yeah, you knock about. Doesn't seem to be anyone in there at this current time. No animals either,
Oh.
surprisingly.
Oh God, it's a ghost town! Run away! That man on the rocking chair's a lich.
It's a ghost town, except that one old man.
He's a ghost. I'll pop back over and say, no one in the stables, so I assume we just have to head into the tavern.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think the front door's here.
Yep.
Yay!
Alrighty. You.
Kato, stay with the. Oh, okay.
Oh my god. Inside, the light dims as you open the doors, and the smell of exposed wood fills your lungs. To your right, you see a large wooden counter manned by a elven gentleman, dressed casually in shirt and pants, long blonde hair that's been clasped back with a wooden hairpin. Behind him, there is a very large wine shelf set on the floor, whilst the wall above the level of the counter is covered in hexagonal wooden charms, decorative shelves and bookends and wooden vases, and carved statues of bees and foxes and alliums. There is very little light in here. Most of it seems to be coming from the open front door that you have just opened, and a few oil lanterns that have been left sparingly amongst the booths and tables. Hello.
Good day. Am I right to believe that this is the tavern?
You are correct indeed.
Would you be able to do a room for us?
There seems to be 4 of you. I could do 4 rooms if you like. I have the space.
That would be great.
Pain.
Sorry.
You do see a wry smile appears on the elven man's lips. I do appreciate it.
I'm
Please.
sorry, Rook. I will behave.
You could have said hive. We all could have been part of it.
Would just be too much.
Okay.
I'll walk up. I'll walk up to the gentleman.
The name of this
we
session
also-
is going to be some stupid bee pun, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the egg
I
situation all
believe-
over again.
Yeah. Excellent.
Mm.
We also have a couple of horses that will need to be stabled.
I can do that for you.
Thank you.
Before I head out to your horses, is there anything you would like to partake in? A drink, perhaps?
I think it would be rude not to partake in the local delicacy.
Oh, you see, he ducks down behind the counter and pulls out a number of bottles.
Oh,
That is,
Jesus, the thunder.
You'll get used to it after a while. I have here some lemon blossom mead, which is quite light and bubbly. This is the cheapest that we have. It's 3 silver pieces for a glass or 3 gold for the bottle. This is the elderflower mead that we have. This is more elegant and playful if you have a companion that you wish to share this with. Or share a drink with, I should say. I would highly suggest this. It goes for 8 silver pieces a glass or 8 gold pieces for the bottle. Or our specialty here in Milan is the crackling mead. It is a very heavy mead. It is pure mead made from the heather here in Milan. This is the finest that we have, hence it is a gold piece per glass or 10 gold pieces per the bottle. If that is not to your taste, however, we also have ale and cider from Fernafirth. We also have the remnants of a very classy white wine all the way from Moldavia. That would go for 10 gold pieces, similarly to the crackling mead that we have here.
Well, I think I'll take a bottle of the crackling mead if possible.
Certainly. You see, he seems very happy and goes fishing for a closed bottle of the stuff.
If you don't mind me asking, how long has it been since you've last had people through?
Oh, a month and a bit, I think. We were expecting a group down from Fernfast. Carpentry lot, to help with the bridge. But,
Haven't arrived?
no.
We came from Feyenfirth and apparently they did set out.
Yes, you didn't happen perchance
Well,
upon
it's-
them, no?
No. Though, whether it was the same group, we did come across a ramshackled camp.
And no folk in sight, I'm presuming?
No.
He purses his lips and shakes his head, and, nods his head, understanding. Well, it has been well beyond the time that they were meant to arrive here, so I have been in touch with the gentleman back in the Blink Dog's Tavern. I shall message him when I have a moment. Here's your bottle, sir. He passes it to you, Vane.
Thank you.
Crackling mead. It looks to be
And gold.
about 4 years old. Half decent. And, yep, 10 gold.
I exchanged 10 gold for the mead.
Yes.
Bottle of. Excellent. And then I'll just set a table.
Mhm.
Deal with the rooms when he gets back.
And is there anything I can get for the rest of you?
I'm alright. And I'll go over and join the
I'm fine for now.
I'm fine as well. Kira heads over, and
Mhm.
the elven gentleman eventually returns with a pitcher of water and a couple of cups for the rest of you as he dashes out to deal with the horses.
Seems like a nice fellow.
Very much so.
Does not bode well about the absence of our carpenter chums.
I mean, well, best case scenario, he was down here getting pissed off his rocker on bee wine. It was always gonna be something bad.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but his wife won't be overjoyed to hear that he has disappeared off the face of the earth.
We can probably leave the mean locks out of the story.
Well, yes. I'll when the gentleman gets back from doing the horses, I'll change into the husband and see if he's seen him at all. I assume not, but it's worth a try.
Yeah.
Was it the mean locks?
Well, probably not. They could have spawned after the very poor night. Because they were dragged away, if I recall.
Yeah. By large footprints, if I recall.
Were they large in the man-faced hound direction?
I'm starting to think that, maybe.
Yes. That had come to mind.
Probably leave them out of the story too.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, giving a warning about such creatures in the forest wouldn't be a terrible idea.
No, definitely not.
Perhaps when you check in, Vane, you can also ask him about the issue to the south.
Yes, definitely. Will do.
Do you crack open the bottle now, Vane, or is that for later?
He's kind of staring at it,
Mm.
unsure if he's going to crack it now. Is it like corked,
It
or
is,
is it
indeed.
screw top?
'Tis corked.
He's corked.
Corked,
Okay.
bye.
He'll hold off for the moment. What time of day is it?
Well, you guys literally arrived just as the sun was beginning to set.
Okay. Okay. Probably hold off for a little while. See if we're gonna go and do anything else. What before we kind of settle down for the evening.
Okay. Soon the elven gentleman returns. Goes, your horses are kept in the stable. They are by themselves, so they've plenty of feed.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Would you like food? We have that available as well.
Well, yeah. So, how much are rooms?
Yeah, the rooms here. Pardon me 1 second while I get the notes out.
No problem.
Yeah.
Food for tomorrow morning would be good. I'm still full from a berry I had this morning, so I couldn't eat enough.
Barely.
Yeah.
Right. Well, a room here per person is the 5 silver piece for the night.
Sounds good.
I have to say you are the first guests that we have had here for a long time. So,
Oh,
please, we have 6 rooms available. They all seem to be are of same sort of standards. But if you would like to have a look around, you're free to.
Very kind of you. Thank you very much. Just while we're talking, you wouldn't have happened to see a gentleman that looked like something like this, would you? And I'll sort of shift into husband.
I become this man's husband. Take me now. No.
Hello. Hi.
You turn into Burnett Darland's husband, Tom, and he raises the elder gentleman raises his eyes for a moment and goes, "Oh, such magics have not seen someone else do for quite some time. Wow. My apologies. I have not seen anybody of this ilk before."
I'll change back. Okay, it was worth a try. Thank you. It's the husband of a woman we met in Fernfirth who was coming down to assist with the bridge.
Ah,
Just
okay.
yeah, hoping.
That is
Yeah.
greatly unfortunate.
Yes.
This might sound forward, and I apologize. Do keep that image in mind. Should she want a portrait taken of him, perhaps when you return to Fernfirth?
Oh, that's very good, actually. Yes, I shall.
And he smiles sadly and just gives a nod.
Hopefully, they just got turned around and they're behind schedule, but
From last I heard, it has been just short of 3 weeks in the forest
yes.
for that travel. I doubt. I'd like to think that Hernan would have messaged me by now to say that they would have arrived home.
Yes.
I fear that the forest might have taken them.
Yes. Clever as shame. Well, it's dangerous times.
Seems to be.
Speaking of dangerous times, you wouldn't have had any news from the south, would you?
Not so much as of late. The carpenters here, they were holding on to the hope that the people from Failfirth would come down and hasten the bridge revival, so to speak. But no, it's taking on longer without their help. But they should be finished up, I think, soon. I had received
That's
word
good.
to prepare a meal for them once they return.
Wonderful. That's good to hear.
So no news from the south, so to speak.
Well, sometimes no news is good news.
I hope so.
Rook is just sort of like sitting in his chair with his like head as far back as it'll go, with his like hands rubbing his eyes, just sort of staring at the ceiling as he continues to imagine the worst possible scenario.
Yeah.
And it's just like, someone breaks bridge purposely, then people go to fix bridge and they're gonna be okay? Don't think so.
They'll be fine. Nothing's ever gone wrong.
Is coming from
Oh.
the man who
I'm sorry,
Look,
what's
I only
the,
died once.
what was the bartender's name again?
you didn't catch it. Or you didn't ask.
Ask.
Sir, pardon me, good sir. I assume you have a name?
Yes, Jean.
Jean.
Jean Lucien.
My name is Rook. Could I trouble you for like a jar of your honey?
You would have to head over to the bee's knees for that.
Bee's knees.
I would assume they're not open at such an hour.
Yeah, they should
Yeah,
be.
they-
They've nothing else going on. We haven't had many visitors, so to speak, so days have been long.
What are the business hours?
I'm gonna head on. Which building is that?
It's the building to the left of here. Once you head out.
Oh,
Far left,
Okay.
sorry. Head towards the main road. Bollocks! Sorry, that's me saying that. Head towards the main road and turn left.
cool. I'll be back in a bit.
John, why did you shout bollocks at the top of your lungs?
Do you want your rooms? Like, just keep them on tap.
Oh, yes.
I could put 4 aside for you. That's better.
Oh, no, we'll take them. I think we just got caught up in other things. So it was 5 silver each. Yeah.
2 gold piece for the 4 rooms, please. If you're paying
I'll
now.
hand over 2 gold pieces.
Okay. Thank you. You have the keys to your rooms.
Thank you, and I'll hand them out to each person.
Okay.
John Zilosian.
Shilosient.
Fair enough. And then I'll go and catch up with the Rook, I suppose. I'll put the bottle of mead in my bag.
Well,
What was the mead called? Crackling.
crackling meat. I'll write that down for you as well.
Oh.
Well, I suppose we're going over here.
Knock, knock, knock.
And the door swings open. You hear the little chime above you. You see a little
Hello.
golden wind chime that has been struck as you walk into the place work, and you see a blonde-haired woman. Hair has been pulled back into a low-lying bun. She goes, hello. Sorry,
Hi.
wasn't expecting to see you here. And you
Where
see
were you expecting to see me?
Dickhead.
My
Sorry.
apologies, I wasn't expecting to see anyone. We haven't had many visitors. You see
Oh.
a very open-planned business. This woman is standing behind a counter, but in front of you there you see a number of square-placed shelves with different candles and leather-bound books and charms and accessories are being placed up front. She goes, is there anything you're looking for in particular that I can help with?
I was specifically sent over here because I was told I could purchase honey.
Oh, yes, and we have wildflower honey here, if you'd like. We have honey by the jar, or we have honeycomb with honey. Which would you prefer?
By the jar at the moment.
By the jar, okay.
And she quickly dips down behind the counter and pulls out a nice big jar of honey.
She goes, that is 3 copper pieces for the honey.
Excellent. I'll take 3.
Oh, 3. Hold on.
And she dunk, dunk onto the counter. Another 3.
About
Another 2, sorry.
9 copper done.
9 copper.
And then I'll slowly start feeding them into the bag of coal in.
Okay.
Yeah, I've found myself speaking a lot in the last months or so. So I don't want to wear out my voice too much, and I hear honey's good for that.
Yes, if you could steep it in a little bit of hot water, that can help. But really and truly, if you want the honey to do you the most amount of good it can, just take a tablespoon of it and let it melt down into your throat.
Oh,
Actual medical advice here, guys.
It's true.
I refuse.
Sorry.
Sounds like-
Sorry, Rook.
Sounds like witchcraft to me.
Some people say that, yes, but
I believe it does have good benefit. My son, certainly, it's helped him with his throat.
Okay. Well, I'll take you up on that advice. Anything? This is our first time, as you can probably tell from having not seen us before in this town. I hear the honey is a big staple. Is there anything else that we should be sure to watch out for?
Well, what we sell here is the wildflower honey. So that is, if you came in from, did you come from the north? I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you would have seen the little beehives that we have out there. That is for the wildflower honeybees. And from the honey, we make all sorts of treats. We make tarnished, baklava. We also make honeycomb toffee. That is quite nice. Honey cinnamon cookies as well. All sorts of baked goods. And you see, she holds back for a moment before saying, "That's being that you are our most esteemed visitors here that we've had in quite a long time. Kilar'une is home to a rather distinct kind of honeybee. I'm assuming are you staying here in the village?
We're staying in the inn
In the inn.
for the night.
So you've spoken to Jean, yes?
Yes.
I would suggest to him then maybe that you are quite interested in Milan's own honeybees. He might be able to share more with you. But while you're here, though, we do have quite a number of different charms that are decorated to look like honeybees and the honeycomb and whatnot. We've got leather-bound books bound right here in Milan using the beeswax to create the books. We also have the beeswax candles. These ones are particularly good. They'll last double the time that your regular candles from elsewhere will last. Yes. We've also got honey and apple blossom scented soap. Might I suggest one of these? And she pulls out this headdress. It's a headband of reinforced leather with these two large amber stones held aloft by wrought silver twine.
Now that's very handsome.
I must say, this is the most expensive item we have in the shop, but we have other accessories like it if this is something that you are interested in.
Define expensive.
This is 250 gold pieces. The
That's quite expensive.
Yes, but the amber stones themselves are pure amber.
Oh. I'm not sure that I'm in the neighborhood to purchase something so expensive at the moment, but would you mind if I look at it?
Oh, of course. And she hands it to you.
I'll just begin peering over.
Vain peruse like the knickknacks.
The nickety-knacks indeed. Yeah.
Just see if there's any nice like stones or anything, like amber stones.
Yep.
Outside of the
The little antenna headband.
the headdress, yeah.
Okay.
Outside of this.
Yep. You do see these leather bracelets with hexagonal patterns that have been burned into them to make them look like honeycomb. You do see a rather large leather belt with this silver bumblebee buckle. Quite impressive as well. You do also see a number of bracelet and necklace charms as well. The one that stands out to you is one of a silver wrought bumblebee wing that has very, very, very small amber stones laced along the design. Like little drops of honey caught on the bumblebee's wing.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
You do also see little amber stones that have been carved into beehives themselves. They are, again, very small. Nothing to... When she said that the antenna headband was the most expensive, like, she meant it. Like, everything else is diminutive in comparison in terms of, like, the size of the stones, but it's still very pretty.
Might be interested in a couple of these, but I am low on funds.
I'm meaning to ask as well. Is there like an apothecary of some kind in this town?
Not as such. For your regular comer. Again, I would highly suggest speaking to Jean about our Melanian
Squints his eyes,
honeybees.
sensing the existence of Fey bullshit. Okay. I'll begin handing the headband back to her. How much for one of these little charms?
Which one are you referring to?
I'll see if there's like a little, like, basically the equivalent of like a phone, like little charm, like a little bee.
Little
If
bee.
there's
That one there would cost you a gold piece.
Here you are.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Roshana, can you tie this onto one of the sticks coming out of my back?
Oh, sure, of course.
Just find one that doesn't have like a little knick-knack tied to it.
Oh
that
my
they-
god! Rook has a Pandora coat.
Yeah. Yes, he does. How
Nice.
much is this? And I'll sort of show the necklace charm thing that you mentioned with the amber like bee wing.
The bee wing. That one is 10 gold pieces. That one takes quite a bit of time to create.
It's very pretty. Where's Kato? He's got all my funds.
You want it now?
Do I?
I can. Oh,
I mean, if you have it, Roshana, I'm trying to find Rook's, sorry, Vane's funds.
yeah. Yeah. I pass on the 10 gold.
Yeah, thank you. I'll return this. I just. Yes. And I will purchase this cool charm thing.
Okay. And I'll take a packet of that honeycomb toffee. For 3 copper.
Does the charm thing come on its own necklace, or do I attach it to something that's already
It comes
existing?
with this twine necklace. If you have a sturdier necklace, that should definitely be a lot handier. But
Okay,
it does come
I'll-
with something that you can wrap around your neck.
I will just have the yarn one for now, and then I'll look into replacing it at some point in the future.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I have wing, and I've died. I am now the one-winged angle.
The angle, indeed.
Uh-huh.
That's me.
And a
Many
cute
angles.
angle.
Oh, you think I'm cute? Oh.
Well, it's the closest type of angle to completely horizontal, your preferred state of being.
Ah!
Oh, oh, ow! Oh my god. Fierce.
Crumpled on himself.
Sassy.
Dear God.
Absolutely decimated.
Shall we go back and ask Jan about his really cool, interesting bees?
I just need to find some salve for these burns that I've just received.
Yeah,
You know, honey can come in handy for that too.
my honey.
Bye, honey.
Hey, are bears a problem here?
We do have a couple of them roaming about, but not massively, no.
Okay, just making sure.
Sure of what? You think Pooh
So,
Bear
like, if you just-
in his little red
you, like,
t-shirt is gonna
you,
come
like-
hotly out?
If you like saw a bear, you wouldn't be like killing him immediately. You'd be like, he's probably chill.
Probably.
Okay, good to know.
Okay.
Rogue's communication skills are off the fucking chain as usual. Main's gonna put the little neck thing around his neck and sort of smile at it for a few seconds, and then yeah, just wait for everyone to head back out.
It was nice to meet you.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you
Bye.
very much.
Tell your friends about Milan, please.
Okay.
Sure we will.
Hey, Vane.
God.
Hello, Rook.
Do you think it would be rude to write a review in the guild book? Are we like allowed to advertise?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. Kato knows the rules to it, so.
I mean, it is meant purely for emergencies, but
Well, we could just
Seems-
mention that if you ever have a sore throat while on the road, you could pick up some honey from. If you're in
Well-
this specific vicinity.
Let's wait until we see, number one, how good this honey is, and number two, how chill these bees are, before we start sending people this way.
Well, you
That
haven't
seems
been
fair.
stung yet, so
Yeah. Yet. Gonna begin marching back over to the cockatoo's pint.
cockatoo. Who is she
Here's
though?
fine.
Okay, I think we'll take a quick break here, guys. Maybe about 15 minutes, 20.
that's
That's
fine.
right.
Sure.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna go grab a drink.
Oh, wow, it's already 8:30.
Yeah.